Hey everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing Everyday Explorers stamp project using the new week journal. Now, bear with me because I am putting this together thinking that I'm going to document 2021. And then I decide halfway through, no, I'm going to do 2022. So there's a little bit of different photos and just bear with me. You will like this project, and I think it is a unique way to take on this weekly journal. So the journal comes with a calendar page right after the opening page. Well, after the opening page, there's a 3 horizontal section. Then you open it and there is this calendar. So it's technically the 3rd page. What I decided to do is make this little calendar and have it do 4 months and make it neutral. And then use the boxes to write in the different highlights from the different weeks. So if January has 4 weeks, I'm going to wind up adding 4 little notes about the different things going on in the week. Then February is going to have 4 things as well. I'm using several different stamp sets. I don't know if they're available, but they are kind of the week in review stamp sets, and I'm using those to decorate my page. As you can see, I am cutting out weekly highlights and more of the same. I really love this whole design for this particular page and how it's going to set me up for some journaling about each of the photos that I'm picking and allows each spread to be just about the photos. I also use some basic washi tape, and I will add in some X's and also some little black stamping cluster. So very simple and very neutral, but I wanted it to be just a great home for the little stories that I wanted to capture. This week journal is a journal that can capture 3 months, I believe. So there's 3 calendars, and I'm going to use each calendar to document 4 months. That way I get all 12. And as you can see, I'm kind of counting here, making sure that I have the make sure I have what I need to do every single month. So I do, and I'm going to go ahead and move on. Now this is where you will see that I started off with some photos that were from 2021. Now the reason that I wanted to switch to this year is because I realized pretty much when I was done putting in these photos and making these pages that I had already done kind of a year in review for 2021. So I thought, okay, I need to do 2022. And also I didn't want to do anything to do with distance learning. I didn't want to relive that. I am showing you how I picked out some phrases that I'm going to use again. Several of them I'm going to use again when I use the 2022 photos. So I know halfway through this project, I was like, wait a second, I've already documented 2021. Oh my goodness. I thought about just, trucking along with 2021, but in the end, I didn't want to do another review project for 2021. So there you go. I also grabbed the stamp set called Currently Seals, and I'm going to use that to stamp a few phrases like currently loving, and I think I put one on the calendar. My intention for this setup is to have a monthly spread, as you can see, February, and then each box corresponds to a week. Well, 2 boxes corresponds to 1 week. So the top left 2 boxes correspond to 1 week, and then the next, and then the next, and the next. So in this spread, you have a total of 4 weeks worth of photos. And that calendar spread that I made in the beginning is going to tell you what is going on in each of these photos and the highlight for each of these photos. It's really fun, and I love this take that I came up with for this week journal. It is going to be so fun to see this all put together, 52 favorites from this year. It is definitely a project that I loved doing several years ago, and I kind of missed it. And this is definitely a simpler way to capture all 52 favorite photos from the year. So the next thing I have to do is stamp out the weeks, and then I can go ahead, cut all of these little pieces out and adhere them down. But of course, I'm going to take everything apart in a little bit. I'm going to take it all apart. But I really wanted to show you what I started with and what phrases that I used and how I was setting up this whole thing. Okay, so I took a break from the project, came back, and now I'm going to go back to the very beginning and make an opening page for 52 favorites. I have a journaling card from Everyday Explorers, and I will use that as kind of my base foundation. I'll use a large stamp that says this was the best and go ahead and fussy cut it out and then adhere it to the journaling card. I'll grab some the stickers in black, and I'm going to spell out faves. But first I fill in up at the top it says month, so I put all the months and then the year 2022. I also stamp the number 52, and I decided to cut each number individually. I don't remember what my thinking was on that, but that's what I did. I also used a prompt stamp set that I think is called My World, and I believe it's still available, so I will link it. But I stamped these are the best days, and I'm going to go ahead and put that below this was the best. I had to scoot down the large phrase because I wanted to make sure I could fit in faves. I put it on my T ruler, that way I could get it straight and know that I had enough room and where to place it. My last little thing for this page is to just add the black grid washi tape. I mentioned this in my reading journal video, but this grid washi tape I got on Amazon, and I just love it, and I'm finding myself using it on all kinds of projects. So the start of this is very neutral, and I love it, and I love the different clustering. All right, so I'm back. I ripped up the pictures, I saved them for something else, and I have printed 2022 photos to document instead, which I am very happy with that decision, and I hope you're sticking with me as I figure out this project. Because sometimes you have an idea in mind and you start it, and then you're like, wait a second. And that's kind of how I was. I didn't want to chuck this project, and I didn't want to keep going with a year that I'd already done a review project for. So I decided, like I said, 2022. So I printed out photos of me and the kids in the bathroom, starting the hikes with my husband, and my kids and I cuddling on the couch, a beautiful sunset, a heart rock, and I kept the focus on the good and current project. I think I stamped that. I also kept the calendar numbers. I was able to peel those off the photos and repurpose those. I put 2 on the top row, but I needed to move that because that was wrong. So there is 4 weeks here, and I am matching the number of the week to each row. So the first row is week 1. I stamped 2 other phrases that I wanted, current project and currently thankful for. When I tore up the number 2 on the wrong spot, it made a little hole in the picture, so currently thankful for will cover that up. So I love the results of this page, and I'm going to use that grid washi tape in just a little bit to go across both pages. I trimmed it a little bit so that way it was thinner, and I can put a strip up at the top and down at the bottom. And overall, it's just a really simple design with very small photos. I can't remember off the top of my head what size these photos were, but I think that they were 1.5 by 1 or something like that, but I'll leave it in the description box in case you're curious what size these are. And then I just cut them with my Cameo. All right, so February is the next month. I started off with a photo of the kids playing with Oma and a game. I also had some photos for Valentine's Day week and celebrating our anniversary. My daughter laying on me, and a great photo of my bestie and I, and then a hiking photo. Now, I had 2 photos for week 8, and you're going to see me make a flip up for that. You know I love my flip ups, and you know I love adding all the photos I possibly can, so that is what I did there, and it's something that I might do here and there with this project. I'm not trying to stuff this totally full of photos and add all the flip ups and flip outs, but occasionally if I want an extra photo, that way I can add it in. This particular week for these 2 extra photos was a week when the kids were out of school and we had more family adventures, so that's why there was I couldn't pick. I could not pick. I saved currently loving, and these are my people, and I just put those in different spots than they originally were. Also have new place to explore, and this month. Went ahead and put back the days of the week and trimmed my pink washi this time, and I can lay that across both pages to wrap up February. And I really hope you guys have enjoyed seeing how I'm using this week journal for now a yearly journal, and to document our 52 favorite photos from this year. I love these mini books. They just bring me so much joy, and it's a great way to do a basic memory keeping project and, make it simple, make it easy, and just have some memories documented. I will finish up this project by writing in what I wanted to include for the weekly highlights. I thought about adding in a small photo, but decided for now I'm not going to. I will add a small little gray circle, kind of like my reading journal calendars, and then fill in the number and also the little highlight, and that way it corresponds to the photo. I know I mentioned that before, but now I'm finally doing it. So week 1, bedtime shenanigans, hiking together. And then number 2 would say amazing sunset and evening snuggles. Number 3 was just enjoying fresh air because there was only 1 photo. 4 is trampoline tricks and baking cake pops. And then I will move on to February. I thought I was going to need a 5th week over there, and so I wrote 5, but I don't need it, so I'll fix it later. 5 is a Sunday with Oma playing board games. 6 is going to be Valentine's prep, and 7 is afternoons in the backyard and a visit with my friend, and 8 is a new spot to hike as a family and visiting a bird refuge. So each of those little arrows corresponds to a little story about the week, and now I can come back and do March and April at a different point. So I am just going to stamp the phrase currently crazy about this and add that over to the left-hand side. I felt like it needed 1 more stamped phrase. And then you guys, I will be done with the start of this project. And I hope you have enjoyed. Here's a look at what I've put together. I also have a free download for some 52 favorite prompts. I would love it if you check it out and let me know if that'll help you out. I'd love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this, and have a great day. Bye.